All right, everybody, welcome to our Connected Roots call here. So tonight's topic is meditation. And you might have noticed we've been posting a couple of things in the Mighty Network about meditation recently, asking about, how we could support you in either jumpstarting or committing to your own meditation practice. And so there's a reason for that. This is a really critical piece of any healing process, is taking time out of every day, no matter what's going on, to really reassert what it is that we want. And sometimes that can get really challenging when we're kind of, all caught up in our day-to-day and our routines and our struggles. So meditation is an opportunity to put everything on hold, everything that we're struggling with or looking to fix, put it all on hold and focus all of our energy and intention on what it is that we want and what we're creating. Okay. Now, maybe some of us have seen or heard of The Secret that came out, I don't know, 15 years ago, whatever. And, we get caught up in this idea that oh, we can just, if we just imagine good things, then, our lives will transform. But imagining the good things is only the first step in the process, because that has to translate into action, right?
Mm-hmm.
So meditation is an opportunity to really imagine and envision what it is that we want, whether it's for our health, for our career, for relationships, for finding a new home, or for figuring out, if we have a big decision to make in our lives, to take that time and, instead of trying to intellectualize it, just envision what the outcome is that we want. So one of the most important teachers right now, I think, kind of guiding people in this direction, is Dr. Joe Dispenza. And, if anybody has any doubt in the scientific backing to just how powerful meditation is, you could watch any of his videos. He has many TED Talks. He has lots of books where he talks about the scientific experiments and everything else that we have done to really elucidate what is happening here with meditation. And one of the more profound ones that really kind of blew my mind was that they did a study where they split, they had two groups of people, and they took medical files from decades before, 40 years ago, medical records. And they didn't even know what the outcome of these medical records were, but they matched them with somebody who was either going to be meditating and thinking positive things about that medical case or not. And the amount of cases that had better outcomes that were matched to meditators was beyond, the any chance that it could have just been random. There was absolutely no way that the number that correlated could have just been by chance. Which shows that meditation, and use this as an example to say meditation, even if you're okay, I never meditated before, and it's, I'm 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. Can meditation really start having an effect now? Well, we can start meditating now and think differently about events in our past. And that changes our future. And that's the way we need to look at this, because otherwise, if we're not practicing meditation and we're not putting effort into positive visualization about what it is that we want, we actually get stuck, trapped, living the past as if it was the future. It takes us out of the present. And so what Joe Dispenza does, I'll share my screen here. one of his most important tools that he uses is a simple process to create a symbol, just a letter, but you draw little wavy lines around it to represent that this is like, has energy to it. It's energized. And whatever intention it is that you want to bring forth into the world, by being able to focus your thoughts, which are vibrational energy, you're able to then bring that vibrational energy into physical form. So how does that work? Well, it's not like, we just say, oh, I want $1 million. And then we, focus on this letter for long enough, and all of a sudden $1 million appears in our hands. What actually happens here is that we are realigning our brains with potential, with a new potential, with possibilities, with opportunities that may not have existed before. Okay. So a great example is like with our health. All right. So just thinking positive things, we have examples of people, so like going back to the movie, The Secret, they share an example of a woman who was diagnosed with terminal breast cancer. And she just decided to start thinking only positive thoughts and only watching funny movies with her husband. And from diagnosis to when she was told she didn't have cancer anymore, I think she said it's like 2 months. Okay. And that's because whatever you're thinking about, your body doesn't know the difference between what you're imagining and what is actually happening around you. So if you stop and imagine yourself actually running from a bear, you might notice like your heart rate increases, you get a little sweaty, you get a little tense. Or an even better example is like if you start, fantasizing about, a romantic experience that you've had, you might actually start to feel the physical signs of being turned on, because your body doesn't know that you're just imagining that. So if we spend all of our time imagining or believing that we have, a diagnosis, for example, and that diagnosis is one that seems very daunting and something that we can't overcome, we will reinforce that constantly through our thoughts and repetition of the diagnosis. And our bodies will continue to give us that. So this is why, I find it interesting, like I see on different Facebook groups about health and wellness, that there'll be people giving advice, and you see their profile picture and it says chronic Lyme survivor, and things like that. And they're just identifying with the illness. And that's okay. We can have a diagnosis. We can know what is going wrong with our bodies. But if we want to get out of that, this is where meditation comes in. So when we write an intention like this, if it was, for example, to heal Lyme disease, we would not actually put in here, I want to heal my Lyme. We would put what it would feel like, what it would look like, what that experience would be like to not live with Lyme disease, right? Mm-hmm. So, what are the intentions? It would be, that my body is strong and healthy, and I can, I wake up feeling, well rested, and my joints are supple and flexible, and and speaking of things in terms of like what it is that we actually want. And then we associate that with elevated emotions. Okay, so if that was my new reality, then I would feel inspired. I would feel ecstatic. I would feel, whatever positive emotions you want to come up with for that, right? And then you could put this on like, okay, I have an opportunity to, move to a new state, and all of this big stuff around that. Okay, so what's my intention? What do I visualize as the outcome for that? So you can write that down. I want this to be where I'm living. I want this to be my income. I want I want these things. And if I have these things, I will feel this way. Okay. So now, clearly, these are things that we want. They don't exist in this moment. So if we look around and we look for evidence of them in our reality, there isn't any. There's no reason to believe I will be able to have these things. So we need to sit down and we need to just close our eyes and quiet our mind. And then we imagine the things that we wrote down. And we actually try to feel the emotions that we would feel when we have those things, right? So if you imagine yourself walking into your dream house and you know, with your eyes closed and you're looking around and you're seeing, you know, the furniture exactly the way you want it, the center island in the kitchen, the beautiful kitchen that you're going to prepare Thanksgiving dinner, and you start imagining those things, you actually start to feel them. And the more you do this, the more you teach your body what it is that you want. And you start to actually communicate with your subconscious. And then, so let's go back to health, right? So somebody who is, you know, maybe, you know, struggling with some sort of food addiction or overeating or something like that, if they spend time imagining, visualizing, feeling as if they're in the healthy, lean body that they desire, that'll start telling their subconscious that when it gets to the normal time of the day, when they're usually triggered to start overeating, to say, actually, we don't want that anymore. We want to do other things. We want to go sit down and meditate. We want to take care of our bodies and reduce stress. And so when we sit down to meditate, even if it's only for a minute, because we use that as an opportunity to focus on the things that we want, it dramatically reduces stress levels, even if we are acutely sick, even if we have the worst flu or stomach pains or whatever. If we just stop and try to focus our mind on the things that we want, that will reduce our stress levels. And that's why meditation has been proven to reduce the physical pain of, you know, many various different illnesses. So, you know, for, you know, they now, you know, teach meditation to, you know, patients that are terminally ill. And they've shown that patients, you know, for example, they're dying from cancer, when they're taught meditation in this way, that they request far less pain medication. It actually changes our physiology. Okay. Rachel, do you have anything would you like to add here?
Not yet.
Okay. Great. So I can speak from my own personal experience, that, you know, living in constant pain from a combination of things, but, you know, Lyme disease being a major one of them, a car accident from when I was in my teens, and, you know, nutritionally just depleting my body over many, many years. And you know, when I applied meditation to that, it was what allowed me to change a lot of rigid thinking so that I could be open to new solutions. And so, you know, it was a constant state of, you know, just asking myself, is what I'm doing working right now? Is what I'm doing in alignment with what I am meditating about? And so I've gone through many of these symbols looking for what finally clicked and resonated for me. And so, you know, this is important just to remember, is that it's called meditation practice. It's not meditation perfection. So no matter where we're at, even if we've never meditated before, and, you know, we're used to, you know, the short attention span, 30-second commercials and, you know, all that kind of stuff. We just have to start wherever we're at. And so a really great opportunity right now, it would just be to say, okay, if I don't have a symbol like this, let's make one. So I would invite everybody right now to get out a piece of paper. And we can all write our own symbol. So whatever it is, the most important thing, this one thing, we only want to focus on one thing. Whatever that is, choose at least 3 intentions, right? So that's this side. So if it's about our health, what are the physical things we want to experience? And this can be short term or it can be long term. Either way is fine, right? If you just want to be like, okay, this week, I want to experience this change, right? So it could be like, I want to lose 3 pounds this week. Great. All right. And then once we have 3, maybe 3 to 5 things, then just take a moment and close your eyes and imagine having those things. What are the emotions that come up? What do you feel? And then once you have 3 to 5 emotions, connect it to a symbol. Like J here for Judy. Oh, did you know that the boy cat was up here, Rachel?
No, I let him in to eat, and he just happened to
Okay.
come up and bother you.
Oh, okay. I thought he just like came out of Sarah's room or something.
No, he
Just up here.
decided he wanted to join the call and needs to learn how to meditate too. He's a high stress and high anxiety cat.
Yeah. Sounds like he's going, hello, hello. Okay, everybody's got their symbol? Nope. So another important thing to remember is, especially with meditation, is progress, not perfection. So we always want to focus on the action, even if we won't have everything perfectly lined up. It's okay to just take steps in that direction and say, okay, well, that worked okay. Here's how I can do it better next time. Okay. All right. So next step is, now that we have that symbol, we're just going to do a quick 4 or 5 minute practice run of a meditation. And no matter what happens, the only thing that we have to try to do is keep our eyes closed, right? Because thoughts are going to come, and we can just recognize the thoughts as they come. And then we want to bring our attention back to the symbol. Okay. And then if our mind wanders again, come back to the symbol and try to remember feeling some of those feelings again that you're associating with that intention. And that's why it's okay to let your mind wander, because during the day, the same thing happens. So this is actually when some people say, oh, I can't focus. I can't keep my mind still to meditate. That's the point. We want to let our mind wander for a second, catch it, say, oh, my mind is wandering, and bring it back. And if we do this consistently, when we'll notice that during the day, when we're trying to focus on something and our mind starts to wander, we can catch it, bring it back. Okay. So this is exactly what we're doing. This is what we're practicing. So everybody can go ahead and feel free, if you want to leave your video on, you can turn it off. It's up to you. We're going to close our eyes, and I'm just going to talk us through. So just want to start, once we're all comfortable, just start with taking a deep breath in through our nose. And exhale with a sigh. And we take one more big deep breath in. Now, start by focusing your attention behind your breastbone, the area of your heart and your lungs. Just see if you can feel that space behind your ribs. Be aware of the space that it's taking up in space. Breathe into that area of your body. And then from that focus, now bring your attention outward and become aware of all of the space around that center in the middle of your chest. All of the billions and trillions of galaxies, and countless stars and planets that exist beyond this tiny space in our chest. And now can we move our attention up to the center of our throat? Feel that space. In the center of our throat. Where we speak our truth to reality. Breathe into that space. And now from that tiny focus of awareness, bring it outward to all of space around your throat. And again, traveling up, bring your attention to the center of your head. Feel that space between the ears, behind the eyes. Breathe into that area. And then expand your awareness outward to everything around your head in space. And now, what was that symbol? What were those elevated emotions? Can you teach your body what you want to feel, what you want to experience? If your mind wanders, come back to the symbol. Imagine the letter that you drew. Then return to the feelings. When you're ready, take another big deep breath in. Help bring yourself back to the present moment. And feel free to open your eyes. And that's all it takes. 3 to 5 minutes at the minimum, but just be consistent. So, Rachel, would you like to share something?
Well, I was just going to ask what experience other people had already with meditation, and if there's any specific types of meditation that they found useful, because this is a specific type. There's many different types. Anyone? Jane, I think you're on mute.
There. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That's okay. Well, I've never really did a lot of meditating. I do what I do in the morning now is, and because I have plenty of time, I'm retired and older, so I do pray, and I also kind of meditate in a way because I am alone in my thoughts and speaking what I need to say. So I guess we could say that's a form of meditation, but I know what you're asking us to do, especially when it comes to this program of us, getting better in our bodies. And so I will definitely try at least to do a 10-minute because I think that I need to see that. I need to see positive things about me because I'm 72 years old, and for many years I've been just negative. It's going to be hard to say, yeah, I look good. I feel good. Probably won't be hard to say I feel good if I do feel good, but it's to feel better about me. Isn't it awful? I'm 72 years old and I'm still looking how to like me better. It's kind of sad, but here I am.
Never too late.
Yeah.
That's right.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a lot of times prayer is really wonderful, and I think that people should pray, but a lot of times prayer is about asking for something outside of ourselves or asking for something instead of sitting quietly and feeling the answers, kind of is what meditation is. I think that, I don't remember who said that, but like prayer is asking and meditation is listening. So
that sounds right. That's why I will be doing it.
Excellent.
And I need to have those positive images for myself.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. Prayer and meditation definitely go together.
Yes, it won't hurt, that's for sure.
Anyone else have what's your experience been?
Well, I like the simple idea because it's close to, it's like a single point focus meditation, which I liked a while back with yoga, like a candle or a leaf or something like that. So it's a nice way to kind of bring ourselves in. The other thing that I very much like, and Eric knows, is movement meditation. So dancing, moving the body, like not thinking. And lately, what really has been helping is just breathing meditation. And I'll just go through the chakras, especially when I wake up at night, because I still do that pretty often. And, I get anxious mind, I wake up at 4 and there's to do that comes right in. I'm like, oh, I forgot this and I forgot that. And sometimes I get up and write it down so that it's out of my head. But then to kind of bring myself back helps to bring through the chakras, like start from the bottom and slowly kind of do 2 exhales each. And often, if I'm lucky, often I go back to sleep by the time I go up to the
Yeah, so that's great.
Thank you. Judy, did you want to share? If not, it's okay.
A little bit of what everybody said. I do a breathing meditation every morning. I don't dance enough, but thank you for reminding me that dance is a meditation. It's my favorite one. And I've done single point meditations, but like it's a good reminder. I haven't done them in a really long time. And I realize that it's going to be good for me right now because there's a lot of like garbage thoughts that just don't stop. And it's even infecting like my usual meditation practice so maybe if I shift it to something like a single point meditation, because this felt really good today. I was really able to go there with the feelings.
Mm.
There's this thing about meditation. I've been meditating for a long time, but it's like go back to the beginning, right? Go back to the breath. And sometimes I just go off the rails for the entire meditation. It's happening like more than normal lately.
Mm.
So this is a really good sort of like recalibrating, trying something else that I used to do that I haven't done in a while. I'm very
Yeah.
grateful. So thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I like
Thanks for
when
sharing.
I'm in that mode of like the thoughts just won't stop, or like you're just like I can't make it, it just isn't working. Guided meditations help me a lot at that point. Also like a new guided meditation, because if it's a different if it's one that I've heard multiple times, I'm just like, oh, I've heard you before, Joe, shut up. Like my thoughts reign supreme in
Yeah,
that.
that my mind like even bypasses the guided meditation. Like I'm already at the end. Tapping has really helped me too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Are,
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
God, have really gotten me through the last few months, especially with sleep. Daniela, there's this great tapping app that you can get that really gets me back to sleep now in seconds. So I also wake up every night. So I hear you.
What is this tapping app? Because I need
Yeah.
The
So I was just
tapping
gonna say,
solution.
yeah,
Called the
What
tapping solution.
tapping solution? Okay.
yeah.
It's
Feel free to
brilliant.
post that in the Mighty Network.
It's literally got everything you could ever want to tap about, and it's got a tapping for you. It's
Cool.
you name it. It's great. I'm gonna put it in the app. I mean, in the chat.
Mhm.
Awesome. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I wake up. I wake up several times a night
Well,
on
yeah.
purpose.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So prayer and meditation and tapping as a practice and dance and so there's so many other things. These are ways to disrupt our, kind of default neural pathways and begin to reprogram them in orientation to what it is that we want to create. So tapping does this, prayer mixed with emotion. That's another thing that they talk about too, is right. If prayer is coming from a place of like fear or anguish or desperation, we can actually end up amplifying the cause of those emotions. Versus if we come to prayer in a state closer to what it is that we desire, and those emotions, then we can start to amplify those emotions. That's something, I forget the name. There's this rabbi actually that he talks about that's what he teaches his devotees. But even for people who do prefer something to be in a faith-based line, there are guided meditations that fit this understanding that can be in alignment with Christianity, Judaism, obviously, the other religions that do focus on meditation as well, because they're such a huge part of any spiritual practice. So every major religion has some sort of meditation practice and ideology that is available there.
Another, not related to that, but something that's interesting is I think that if you've been meditating for a while, then I think that you will see a lot of side effects, like positive side effects from it, from having the practice, that may or may not be related to what you're thinking about even. One of those being like, for me, I feel like I'm a far more patient with my 4-year-old whenever I am doing regular meditation practice every morning. And along those lines too, doing your meditation practice in the morning, really, it's great to do it at night to help you go to sleep, because that's wonderful. Like we all need that, obviously, or we go to sleep. But doing it in the morning can help set the tone for the day, for that like positive health, positive whatever, positive self-image, like whatever it is that you're like working with, it will really reframe those things for the positive by doing them in the morning, especially first thing. I think it's Esther Hicks or someone that says like the first 17 seconds actually that you like wake up is like the most important 17 seconds of your day, because it sets the tone for your whole day.
And there's science to that, because when you're transitioning in and out of sleep, your brain goes through specific brainwave patterns from alpha to delta, or delta to alpha. And in that brief period of time that we're in alpha, we can communicate directly to our subconscious. Just like, we have a 4-year-old and a almost 3-month-old. They're basically living in alpha waves. And so everything is communicating directly to their subconscious. So, we have to be careful, obviously, but we still have access to that even as we're adults. And so the first thing that we do in the morning, so, Esther Hicks or Louise Hay, or who is the woman that wrote Think and Grow Rich?
Pam Grout.
Oh, Pam Grout. And I can, Tony Robbins, I can think of so many teachers who speak the same truth, that if you want your day to go the way you are hoping, in a positive way, the first thing you do in the morning is set that intention. If the first thing that you do is you roll over and get your phone and start checking emails or Facebook or something like that, you've just opened your whole subconscious to that instead of what it is you really want. So I'm constantly yelling at my mother, who's like, "Oh, I love meditating. It's so great." And we go to visit. I'm glad she's not on the call, because I'd be totally calling her out right now. But as soon as they wake up, they turn on the news. It's the first thing they do. They walk out of the room, they turn on the news. And that was your opportunity.
She does meditate before she does that now.
Yeah, I think she might. I think she has started making some changes.
You got her at least to do that, but immediately after meditating, news on.
Mm-hmm.
Which gives me terrible anxiety just to think about it, not even to watch the news. But yeah, so really great side effects. Also, we can share, if you haven't already, we can share the guided meditations that we have, the Joe Dispenza ones and everything, so that people can have access to those. Because there's a lot of really great ones. There's 2 specifically, like one's like a morning and an evening one that you can do, and those are the shorter ones too. So.
Yeah, those are about 20 minutes. Daniela, did you have something you wanted to say?
Well, yeah, I mean, for my specific and very unique and particular situation, just being flipped. But the mornings are very difficult because I wake up feeling bad and headachy. So if I try to, if I'm trying to get myself back to sleep, kind of works, but it's still, there is a lapse anyway. So what I need to do is actually get up and get going, because my head feels worse. I don't know if I shared with you, Eric, but if I'm stagnant for a longer period of time, like the night, it all kind of gathers in my head, and brain fog and headache and everything like that. So
yes. So for you,
mm-hmm.
so hold on one sec. So for you, then yes, you get up and you start moving, you get a glass of water, and then you get a little sheet of paper that you've written a little, whatever, a mantra affirmation on there, right? So you could take that from Joe Dispenza or Bob Proctor's, like his format is to just start a sentence that says, I am so happy and grateful now that
Yeah, I end up
XYZ.
doing some gratitude writing, but normally after breakfast, because until then I'm totally like I can't even
Well, so this
center
is what I would invite you to try
to try it
is when,
before breakfast.
well, just when you wake up and you want to start moving, right?
Yeah, I do
And
move. Yeah.
yep. And so, and just like whether you turn on music or not, and just start, just dance, move your body to whatever feels good, and say out loud
Mhm.
the mantra and just speak it out loud into the air, and just do that first thing, right? Because even though you've gotten up and you've started moving, there's still the brain waves are still transitioning. You're still not fully into reality yet. You still have one foot in your
Yeah.
subconscious.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can be like, it's like you're eventually, hopefully you would be able to like separate your mind from your physical pain, right? Like that's like
I can do
the
that.
key. Yeah. To be like, okay, note body's feeling this way, but I'm still gonna keep saying this this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can do that. But then physically, as we discussed with Eric, it is, something that you need to move right away or drink
Yeah.
orange juice or get, some sort of liquid in the body and things like that. So
Right.
it
Yeah.
needs to go
So
to,
it's not an either or, it's an and. Just you
yeah.
just just combine these things and create this, this new process of waking that is moving you towards what you want.
Yeah, but it's a difficult, it's a kick and a force because you don't want to get up when you feel like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So no movement is, although I love dancing, you just do not want to move.
Yeah. So
But
again, right?
you do the little
Meditation,
forcing, it's fine.
prayer, affirmation work, whatever, tapping, all of these things are a way to break the habit of being yourself, of what you are neurally entrained to continue repeating over and over again, because we want to break that cycle. So you just keep trying different ways to break the pattern, to break the cycle. And that doesn't mean that, the reality as it is magically transformed in that moment. It just means that we continuously, consistently, repetitively reaffirm until our subconscious finally gets it. And that will automatically attract, orient us to help us become more aware of the opportunities and the solutions that we might not have been able to see when we were still stuck in that pattern. So it's, it's like the example like of somebody who goes, oh geez, this is gonna be, such a lousy day. And then, they go outside and the taxi splashes them and they step in dog poop, and the first thing that happens is the boss chews them out, and he's like, oh, of course, right? And and the reality is that, and honestly I see this with my 4-year-old. If I am in that state of mind, my 4-year-old he knows, and he does everything possible to to irritate, bother me, smack me in the head when I'm trying to get him dressed and get out the door. And if I shift, all of a sudden I'm like, oh wow, now he's being so helpful.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So it's none of this is to minimize where anybody is in their process. It is to encourage us to put more energy into into what we want, into the solutions, than into where we are. That's what this is about. Yes, go ahead, Jane. Oh, you'll have to unmute again. hold on. You have to unmute. Wait, can I unmute her?
Oh, I'm not.
No,
I was going
I
to.
can't. I thought I could.
Unmute. Okay.
There you go.
All right. I just want to say that this is my first day with Eric. It was a pretty tough day, but I got through it. And to end with this, which I didn't expect to do, is great. And I just want to show you here's just a happy face with squiggles that are S's. And that's for the strength to do what I need to do. That's it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you all.
Thanks, Jane. We're glad to have you here, and we know that that God's got your back.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure. All right, everybody. Well, we'll wrap up with that and let everybody get on with their evening. And you know, you can always take another opportunity to sit down for another 5 minutes with your new symbol, and then put it somewhere, put it right next to your bed, so that when you first wake up in the morning, you turn off your alarm, or just when you wake up, it's the first thing you see, and spend some time with it before you move on and let the world back in. Oh, go ahead, Judy.
Can I say one thing to Jane? Is it Jane?
Yes. Yep.
Jane, I know, like you said, you were 72 years old, and like, it's so sad that you're starting now, but like, you know what? I don't know a lot of 72-year-olds who have the courage and the wisdom to change their lives.
Thank you.
That's like blowing my mind. Like, that's really incredible
Inspiring, yeah.
and
For sure.
totally inspiring. And like, that's a lot of bright light you're bringing this world. So I just wanted to tell you, like, you moved me, you know, with your courage and just like your statement of, you know, that was a very vulnerable thing to say. And it's just, thanks for being here. It's inspiring to me personally.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Judy. Yay. And so, yes, yeah, this is, you know, you get to imagine now, every time you sit down to meditate, there's at least 4 other people that are thinking of you. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Thanks.
They weren't here.
Yeah. They'll get to meet you soon enough. So thanks so much, everybody. This is why we love doing this work. And we get to do it together. So have a great night. We love you all, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.